The Great War, Western Front, is an immersive World War I strategy game that allows players to take control of both the Central and the Allied powers in this authentic tactical experience. As you conduct tactical operations across the battlefield, the once lush landscape will become littered with tanks, craters, and fortifications. Players can return to those locations and conduct battle on them once more. You'll be conducting both tactical and strategic operations because you'll be serving as both the field commander and the theater commander in the Great War Western Front. Now, if you enjoy military strategy, tactics, and doctrine like seeing applied to strategy games, make sure you subscribe because you are in the right place. Now we're going to dive into our in-depth analysis of this trailer. Players will be able to visit a lot of historical locations. As you see, we just saw Verdun on the strategic layer of this trailer. Players will need to manage this entire front, as well as where the resources are allocated, whether it's planes, artillery pieces, or infantry. These upcoming research tree give me a very slight 4X feel. What I mean by that is you have sobriety, filter research, as well as small diplomatic plays such as propaganda that's going to affect how the civilian populace views the war. There's honestly an enormous amount of information to unpack in these two clips. So the players are allowed to manage some of these resources. The one with the liquid sobriety means you can build a cantina and kind of regulate how sobriety is on the battlefield or how much your units drink. The filter research is also interesting as well because at the end of the day, warfighters want to stay alive on the battlefield, and that research tree really highlights the ingenuity that takes place on the battlefield. So while you're back home researching how to create filters, your warfighters on the battlefield are currently improvising and trying to survive until that research is complete. These next two clips are something I really want players to focus on. 6 research trees that players are going to have to navigate. The 6 trees are going to be infantry, flight, trench, engineering, logistics, and intelligence. As you can see, several combat mechanics are allocated to each individual tree, such as chemical warfare, intelligence, lines of logistics, or realistically machine guns and fortifications. While all of those are interesting, it can be a bit overwhelming, and I'm also interested to know how many resources players are going to be allocated to research those mechanics. The Great War Western Front is launching with 4 modes. Those modes are a campaign, historic battles, skirmish, and multiplayer. No playthrough will ever be the same as you can capture key cities or research different tech trees. Next, it's launching with 6 historical battles. The one they've highlighted, and I'm going to link down below, is going to be Passchendaele, the second battle. Now we're finally going to dive into the trench building and some of the more analysis that I want to take a look at. As you see over on the left-hand side, there's a lot of resources for players to use. It looks like players can freely set up their defensive positions, mainly around a main HQ unit. They can also put barbed wire, machine gun nests, artillery pieces, and then deploy all of their forces onto the battlefield in strategic locations. While initially this looks really interesting, it also looks extremely time consuming. It's a mechanic that I can completely get lost in or get completely tired of. It's going to walk a fine line. Also interested to see how the auto resolve is going to use this mechanic, if it's going to build fortifications for the player or if it's just generally just going to send the units straight into battle. While this is one of the more standout features of the game, it does bring some pause. Lastly, if you enjoyed what you saw here, make sure you check out the community tab. I post military strategy, regular strategy game updates over there. Check out the Patreon for free after action reports as well as a monthly newsletter. And make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Hope to see you on the battlefield. Peace.